Over the weekend, three more service members were confirmed dead, two in Jordan and one in Iraq. Now, one person is missing as a result of those attacks in Jordan from Iran, so that death toll is likely to rise. First of all, condolences to all of the family of those dead troops. I really hate that this sick old man is sending young Americans to fight in a war that the majority of Americans think is stupid. But this war is getting ugly. Trump is committing war crimes after war crimes. I mean, he blowing up desalination plants, which is cutting off drinking water for civilians. And targeting civilian infrastructure is considered a crime under the Geneva Convention. And that ain't all he doing. I mean, he hitting bridges. He hit a bridge that has civilians driving on the bridge. And in return, Iran has hit Kuwait. They hit power plants and desalination plants. Now, desalination plants are very important in this region in the world because they are surrounded by the ocean, which is salt water. They got to clean the salt out of their water to make it drinking water. They don't have access to just fresh drinking waters. And now Iran is threatening a port for port retaliation, saying that every time the United States hit one of their ports, they're going to respond and hit one of the U.S. allies' ports in the region. And this war is now about the Strait of Hormuz. Forget everything we heard about why we went to war in Iran, all of the reasons that Trump gave, which kept varying depending on when you ask him. This war is about nothing but the Strait of Hormuz. Trump is desperately trying to get things back in a position that they was in the day before he launched this illegal war against Iran. And he screwed the world economy. 20% of all of the world's energy flows through this important waterway. And it's about to get a lot worse. Iran asked the Houthis to block the Red Sea if Trump followed through on his war crimes threat to continue knocking out their power plants and critical infrastructure. Now, gas prices are up 15%, hitting almost $4 a gallon nationally. And we have executives warning that, our flow of oil is about to get a lot more tight. Our reserves are running out. The cost of oil is about to go up. I mean, it's just a shit show. And Iran is doing whatever they want with the Strait of Hormuz. They said that they will impose fees on the world's internet cables under the strait. That's a critical choke point. It carries roughly 20% of global data and financial transactions. But the problem is, no matter what Trump does, Iran will never give up control of the Strait of Hormuz. Just listen to their foreign minister say just that.
One of the fundamental pillars of these victories by our great and remarkable nation is our geopolitics, the Strait of Hormuz. We will never take this into negotiations the way we did with the nuclear issue. What is currently envisaged is that if the American blockade is lifted, then transit through the Strait of Hormuz will take place under arrangements determined by the Islamic Republic of Iran, and only for non-military and non-hostile traffic. I have seen claims about reopening the strait or returning to its previous situation and so on, but that is not what it means at all. This is the clear emphasis of our people and the determination of the authorities.
And Trump is the one that signed this memorandum of understanding, which said Iran is the state that can make arrangements in the strait. It said that Iran agreed that the Strait of Hormuz will be toll-free for 60 days, but after that, they were open to charging tolls. And it's an open secret that the only way to create any significant change is a ground invasion. And Trump is currently preparing for a ground invasion. All you got to do is just look at the formation of the troops, look at the targets that they're hitting. I mean, they appear to be preparing the conditions for a ground invasion. And the only reason Trump hasn't done this yet is because he knows it's a political loser. He got midterms coming around the corner. Iran is not Venezuela. A ground invasion will be very deadly. It will be a lot of casualties, a lot of American troops killed. And the Speaker of Iran Parliament already said they waiting on a U.S. ground invasion. Just listen to this retired general talk about the implications of a ground invasion of Kharg Island, which is one of the islands that Trump continuously threatened to invade and say that the U.S. is going to take over.
But I can't explain or at least outline the military implications of taking Kharg Island. So this would involve, obviously, ground troops, which are not today anywhere near Kharg Island. So they would have to get there, first of all. And then second of all, sustaining them and supplying them over time. So we clearly have the ability to get on the island. But once on the island, these ground troops would be subject to hundreds of Iranian strike systems. So rockets, missiles, artillery, drones, and so forth. And they'd be very vulnerable. These are the same systems that have not yet been eliminated and result in the closing of the strait. So this would be putting many American troops in harm's way.
Is there any way to take Kharg Island without troops on the ground?
No, not meaningly.
Basically, what he's saying is it's going to be slaughter. Even once we get our forces there, they're going to be under continuous attack. Iran is a country with more than 90 million people. And this war is unpopular as fuck in the United States. I mean, that's why we keep seeing all of these attempts for Trump to try and drum up support for it. They even use Israeli intelligence saying that, Iran had a plan to kill Trump. Now, yeah, Iran's been chanting death to America and, saying things about America for a very long time. But to say that they actually had a plan, I don't know about that. And I don't know why I would believe anything that comes from Israel. Their whole thing is to keep the U.S. in this war. Anything that goes against peace, they all for. Why would I believe any information that Israel put out? But the facts are there is no other way to achieve any of the objectives that Trump laid out. Regime change, removing all of the nuclear material from Iran, destroying their ballistic missile capabilities, especially stopping them from blocking the Strait of Hormuz without putting boots on the ground. That's the only way you can do this. You can't bomb a country into submission. Iran is hiding a lot of important military infrastructure underground. I mean, these people aren't people that can be intimidated by the threat of death, the only way to physically remove this regime from power or stop them from blocking the Strait of Hormuz is literally to put U.S. boots on the ground. For Iran to win this war, all they got to continue doing is blocking the Strait of Hormuz and keep hitting U.S. Gulf states. That's going to eventually drive a wedge in between the U.S. and its allies in the region where they're going to eventually say, look, y'all can't protect us like y'all said y'all could. And if y'all can't do that, y'all gonna have to move these bases out of our country because we study getting hit because of it. And they civilian population is gonna be pissed and start demanding for the U.S. to remove these bases. This war is a disaster for the U.S. I don't want to see any more troops die. And again, we need Congress to do something about this.